didn't have a plan for a final day up north, which was a nice change of pace after getting up at sunrise the day before. Link in the description if you missed that video. After waking up and packing up the cabin, we drove an hour north to Grand Marais and spent the day exploring the town, eating the world's best donuts and fish and chips, and sitting watching the fog roll in over the lake. If you saw one of my recent videos, you know how much I like to be out in nature. Ideally it would be in the mountains, but being by bodies of water is a close second. Growing up in the UK, I spent a lot of time in the Lake District. My grandparents grew up there and retired there, and whether it was orienteering competitions or family trips, we'd often be exploring the hills and the lakes as a family. Be it hiking up Catbells and looking out over Derwentwater, or heading over Loughrig from Ambleside down into Grasmere. Those are some of my fondest memories. In some ways, Grand Marais reminds me of some of the small towns you might find in the Lake District, places like Ambleside or Keswick. Of course, it has a distinctly American feel. Look no further than the so-called fish and chips to see that. But it's a place to escape the city if you're ever up north and want to enjoy the calmness that the lake instills. I think those memories are why I like getting up to the lake as much as I do. It reminds me of times with my family, particularly it reminds me of my mum. When she passed away when I was a teenager, we scattered her ashes in the Lake District in a spot that our family had ties to for generations. And ever since then, being near any sort of body of water brings me that little bit of joy that she's there with me. After driving back to Minneapolis, I was speaking to my granddad back in the UK about visiting Lake Superior, and he mentioned a phrase that came up when he was in school. Some men have every opportunity. Each word starting with the letter of one of the Great Lakes. He said he never could have imagined that one of his grandsons would be visiting Lake Superior when growing up in Cockermouth 80 years ago. Back then, a trip to Bassenthwaite Lake, a short drive away, seemed like an adventure to him. I'm fortunate that I've been able to experience adventures like this, but as I reflect on this trip, I think it's important to remember to value them and the emotions they stir up. Here's to the next one.